so we are back from the Smokies, and we thought we would do a recap really quick, talking about the things that we did well and some things that we maybe didn't do so well. So first thing that we wanted to talk about was hiking boots and socks. I know I was a little skeptical on whether or not we actually needed them at first, but holy cow, we did. So Jared was right on this one. Let's just put it out there. But we both got new hiking boots, and the things that we were looking for were obviously fit, making sure we didn't slide around in our hiking boots, but also we were looking for waterproof because we ended up going through and over a lot of creeks, and so we were able to go even up to here as we crossed, and our feet didn't get wet. And then we also had a lot of the trail that was really rocky and had a lot of roots, and so grippiness was essential. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, they held up great over almost 20 miles of hiking, and neither of us, even being first-time backcountry backpackers, neither of us got a single blister on our feet. So that's mainly due to correct fit and having good quality socks.
Yes.
And keeping your feet as dry as you can. And we definitely got those correct on this one because we took a lot of time and researched what shoes and socks we wanted to get.
Absolutely.
Next was our trekking poles. We didn't get anything extra special. These are just from Black Diamond. It's just one of their lower end models, but it had nice handles on it for good grip, quick release clips for easy adjustments for when you're going uphill or downhill. You can change really quickly. And the carbide tip on it is very well made. Didn't slip on anything no matter what we threw at it.
There was a lot of rocks out there.
There's a lot of rocks where you think the tip of the trekking pole would slide around, but these carbide tips did great. It gripped on everything we stuck it on, and really saved our knees and our backs on the hike.
Especially on the downhill on the third day. And I will say, this is another thing I was really skeptical about, and there were several times on the trail where we were like, thank goodness we got ourselves some trekking poles.
Yeah. Our last essential item that we bought is our water filters from MSR. It's one of their lower end models again. Without this, we were looking at having to hike in probably about 3 gallons per person just for drinking, not including cooking or cleaning. With this, we each carried about 1 gallon a day, and that was all. So we reduced our carry weight by probably about 70% because that 1 gallon was enough to drink for the entire day and cook and clean at the end of the night. And then we just went to the creek and refilled everything with our water filter, and it does about 1 liter a minute when it's clean. Even when it was really dirty and we hadn't cleaned it all weekend, it was still pumping out about 3/4 of a liter per minute. So definitely worth having.
For sure. And there was actually a lady up on top of the mountain that was filling up her water bottles for her group from the same spring that we were, and she took an hour with one of those gravity filters to fill up the same amount that we filled up in 15 minutes. So definitely suggest, even though you do have to pump and your arms get tired after a while, definitely suggest that over the gravity water filter. The last essential thing that we loved, was a huge lifesaver, was the Hiking Project app. You can just find it on your app store. Is it REI that puts it out? REI puts it out, and it's all the different trails in the United States, the world, whatever. But it categorizes them by difficulty. It gives you vertical profiles. The people can upload pictures and trail conditions, crowdsourcing it that way. And even though we didn't have service, we were still able to use the app and see where we were on our routes. We had a GPS and a compass and map with us, and we ended up not using either of them. So that was really handy. We were able to even see where we were on the vertical profile to see where the next climb was. Highly suggest it, whether you're a beginner or a expert. That's just a really snazzy app.
Yeah.
So things that we need to learn to do better.
Yeah, we didn't eat very well before our second day hike. which was the toughest hike of the trip. It was the most vertical part of our trip, and we didn't eat very much that morning. We ended up eating all of our food that we brought for fuel for that hike about 75% of the way through the hike, which doesn't do you a lot of good. So next time we'll make sure that we plan out our food intake a little bit better and have the calories so that we can actually burn fuel to get up the mountain instead of running on fumes the whole way up.
Yeah. I mean, I woke up the morning of our big hike and my legs felt like mile 22 of a marathon. So definitely could improve on that. The other thing that we didn't really think about that we need to make sure we plan for is when we slept at the bottom of the mountain in the valley, the temperature was great, we slept well, it was warm, things like that, but we didn't realize how cold it was going to get on the top of the mountain and just how the wind was constantly coming in to our campsite. And so we were both really, really cold when we camped at the top of the mountain, and we got pretty much zero sleep.
Yeah. So make sure we have a bivy sack or something next time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Lastly, make sure next time we have something more than just sandals for camp shoes and wading through water if we decide to go swimming, because sandals will slip off and float down the river, or at minimum you're probably going to slide on a rock and fall and get a huge bruise on your back.
No, we don't know anybody who did that, do we? Yeah, definitely some Tevas or Chacos or something with a funny name.
Tico taco. Yeah.
We'll definitely have to invest in a good pair of those for us.
Yep.
Another trip down and another peg on the board. Woo! Oh.